What is going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy YUNGFAB, tapping back in with another vid. Hey, today we got the top 15 best players of the 1990s. Man, if y'all been watching my channel for some time now, y'all know we've been on that Michael Jordan journey and just learning about that NBA era I didn't get to witness because I wasn't alive yet. But hey, suggest y'all hit that subscribe button and let's get into the 15 best players of the 1990s. Let's get it.
Greatest players of all time played in the 90s, including the greatest shooting guard of all time,
Michael Jordan.
the best shot blocker
Mid-air
ever,
hand switch,
Hakeem
baby.
gets a block. He gets a second block. Stiff gonna try it again. Yeah, he gets a third block.
one of the most clutch shooters ever,
Reggie Miller? I still need to react to Reggie Miller, man.
and the guy with the most assists in NBA history.
He's got him low. The mailman jumps it. Shot up. It's in. He did it. He did it. A new NBA assist king, John Stockton.
And so for this list, we focused on the player's body of work from the 1990 NBA season through 1999.
I really wonder who's gonna come out on top of this list. You know what I'm saying? Because of course players cross decades and whatnot. I feel like Shaq gotta be on here. MJ on there. Is anyone else from the Bulls finna be on there? Maybe Scotty. From the 90s. I don't think we would put Larry Bird in the 90s. We'd say Larry Bird's primarily 80s.
Taking into account team success, individual accolades, and consistency throughout the decade.
Barkley?
And these are the 15 best players of the 1990s.
I don't know, man.
If we asked you about the top
seatbelt
shooting guard
if y'all haven't grabbed a cup of water or a cup of milk with some cookies, man.
to the 90s, everyone would first think of the guys who played on the Dream Team: Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, Chris Mullin. The Pistons fans would put Joe Dumars in that conversation. The Knicks fans would begrudgingly mention Reggie Miller. And due to his infamous Smitty crossover, some might mention Steve Smith or even Latrell Sprewell. However, there's one 90s shooting guard who scored more points than anybody other than Jordan, and that's Mitch Richmond.
Richmond has an opening.
Mitch Richmond? Who is this? I never heard of this guy. Oh.
Richmond won Rookie of the Year in 1989, and in the early 90s, he was part of the legendary Run TMC trio with the Warriors, along with Tim Hardaway and Chris Mullin. In 1992, Richmond was traded to Sacramento, which slightly undermined his career because he mostly played on mediocre teams. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was a baller.
The Warriors were buns in the 90s.
Stops for the lead. Oh, my. Mitch Richmond.
He doing clutch shots. Mitch
One of the most
Richmond.
consistent scorers of the 90s, Richmond scored over 20 points per game from 1989 until 1990.
I genuinely have never heard of Mitch Richmond until today, man. How long have we been reacting to 90s basketball now? A couple months?
And during the 90s, only
Chad,
four
y'all need to
players
put me on
scored more
ball.
points than him. Standing at 6'5" with a sturdy frame, Richmond was nicknamed The Rock long before Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, they called me The Rock.
But he wasn't just a brute with no skill, and was one of the best shooters of the 90s. With 1,137 made three-pointers, Richmond was 5th in threes made during the decade, hitting 39% from deep. The second most famous Mitch of the 90s, after
He's one
Mitch
of the few players
Buchanan.
that
Richmond
actually was shooting threes back then. Yo, we don't talk about him, man. I'm about to start picking this guy up. If we're ever playing classic hoops on 2K Play now, man, I'm going to start picking up.
Won the All-Star Game MVP in 1995 with 6 total All-Star appearances and 5 All-NBA teams. And just like Richmond, this next player hit the ground running. Drafted second overall by the Hornets in 1992, Alonzo quickly showed that he was going to become one of the best centers in the NBA.
Don't always say Alonzo Mourning tough. He on the list. He on the
Averaging
list.
21
okay.
points, 10 rebounds, and 3.5 blocks in his first season. And even though he was known for his defense, Alonzo Mourning could put the ball in the basket, averaging 21 points per game during the decade. And unlike most centers, Zoe was efficient from the charity stripe, making 72% of his free throws and 53% from the field. But when he got to Miami in 1995, Mourning's career really took off, as he was the main protagonist in the legendary playoff battles against the Knicks, highlighted by the fight against his nemesis, Larry Johnson.
And fists are flying at the other end. Larry Johnson is one of them.
Oh, they fighting?
No. Have at each other.
Oh!
Zoe made 4 All-Star teams during the decade. And in 1999, he won the Defensive Player of the Year award after averaging a league-leading 3.9 blocks per game. Mourning nearly won the MVP that season too, finishing just behind Karl Malone in voting. And even though Dikembe Mutombo won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards and blocked more shots than Mourning in the 90s, Alonzo was a far better scorer, finishing 17th in points per game during the decade, along with being top 10 in rebounds and top 5 in blocked shots.
He was a good
and
player.
Just like Mourning, Gary Payton won the Defensive Player of the Year award. But what made it special is that he was 6'4" and weighed less than 200 pounds, becoming the smallest person ever to win the award, and only the second guard to do it after Michael Jordan.
Payton with the steal.
However, unlike Mourning and Mitch Richmond, Payton struggled early on in his career, averaging just 10 points in his first 3 seasons, with some analysts even calling him a bust after getting drafted second overall in 1990. But then Gary got serious. He started lifting weights and watching games.
Oh my gosh, catching lobs!
From 1994 to 1999, Payton averaged 19.7 points, 7.4 assists, and 2.4 steals per game.
He was averaging 20 points and 7.4 assists per game. That's a lot of assists.
Winning the Defensive Player of the Year in 1990.
Gary Payton died?
7.4 assists and 2.4 steals per game. Winning the Defensive Player of the Year in 1996 and making 6 All-Defensive First-Team selections. In his prime, he was one of the most complete players ever because he could score, pass, and defend at the highest level.
Stolen by Gary Payton. What a play, and he scored. That's Payton's second steal of the night.
Assist, though. That makes
he was also very efficient, shooting 48% from the field during the 90s. And on top of everything, Gary was a leader, capable of running the offense while simultaneously giving verbal hell to anyone who came across him.
I saw Gary Payton control the referees, his coach, my coach, the crowd, the lady in the front. He was controlling the whole game. Shut your ass up. 4-up twist. Hey, you see the hand on the hip, call it if you see. Like, he just, finally hit me. I'm like, how is he managing all this?
Due to his defense and infamous trash talking, Payton got nicknamed the Glove. And along with Sean Kemp, he led the Supersonics to the 1996 NBA Finals.
The Sonics lead 77-69.
Lost it, right? If I'm not mistaken, 96.
Even though he didn't win the title, Payton limited Michael Jordan to just 41% shooting from the field and 31% for 3, in what was the worst offensive series of Jordan's playoff career. This next player also knows a thing or two about battling Michael Jordan, and he was the only player ever to get MJ suspended.
1 on 3.
Oh my God! Wait, any player to ever get MJ suspended?
Now Michael Jordan and
Reggie Miller. Oh, they fight it!
Perfect embodiment of the 90s. A fearless competitor, merciless trash talker, and the guy who always stepped up when it mattered most.
Gets it over to Miller. Miller has a good look at it. Miller wins it for Indiana.
Reggie was considered the best shooter ever before Ray Allen and Steph Curry showed up. And with 1,543 three-pointers made, he led all players in made threes during the 90s. Reggie was also one of the best free throw shooters of the decade, connecting on 88.5% of his free throws, leading the league twice in that category. And in 1994, he became just the 3rd player to join the 50-40-90 club, after Larry Bird and Mark Price. Miller averaged 21 points per game and ranked 7th.
Reggie Miller's better than I thought, chat. I've had a video on backup for some time now to react about Reggie Miller, man. If y'all want to see that video, I gotta see this video get to 100 likes, man. Let's get it.
Total points scored during the decade, with 4 All-Star and 3 All-NBA selections. Before Reggie joined the team, the Pacers made the playoffs just twice in 11 seasons. And since he was drafted, they missed the postseason only once, from 1990 until he retired in 2005. Miller was a born winner, always increasing his numbers in the playoffs, averaging 23 points per in 78 playoff games during the 90s. But with Reggie, it was more than just numbers, as he was one of the most clutch players of all time, with legendary moments like the 8 points in 9 seconds.
Miller for 3, and he got it. And it's 105-102. And a steal. Miller retreats to the three-point line and hits again.
No way. You know that?
Miller open again. And Reggie Miller in an animated discussion with Spike Lee. Reggie Miller giving the choke side to Spike.
Fucking dirty.
That time he pushed off Jordan before hitting a game.
Nah, he got it.
Gets it in the middle for the win.
Reggie Miller did that to MJ?
But you don't have to score a lot of points to become an all-time great. The greatest player
circle.
ever who scored under 10 points per
Dennis
game
Rodman
was Dennis
on
Rodman.
this list?
Rodman diving for the rebound. What an effort that was.
Rodman was drafted in 1987 with no tattoos, without hair dye, but with limitless energy. The Worm was a pest, and he would do everything legal and slightly less legal to stop opponents from scoring. In 1990, Dennis helped the Pistons win their second consecutive championship and won his first Defensive Player of the Year award. In 1991, Rodman repeated as the NBA's best defender, even though the Pistons lost to the Bulls in the conference finals, famously walking out of the gym without shaking their hands.
Pistons wasting no time in getting out of here. They left the bench, although there's 7 and 9, 10 seconds remaining.
Dang, that's some dirty basketball.
The 1992 season was the turning point in Rodman's career. Even though he was always a great rebounder due to his insane energy, averaging 10 boards per game between 1988 and 1991, he then had an epiphany on how to get even more rebounds. By recognizing the ball's rotation and learning the shooting tendencies of his teammates and his opponents, Rodman became arguably the best rebounder in NBA history, leading the league in that category for 7 consecutive seasons, despite being only 6'7" and weighing 220 pounds. And even though he averaged just 7 points per game during the 90s, Rodman grabbed 15 rebounds per game.
There's Dennis again. He doesn't even have to score.
I thought that was Scotty's job, yo. How tall was Dennis Rodman, man? I forget. I thought Scotty was taller than him.
Basket to turn a game around with his rebounding ability.
Playing tremendous defense, often guarding players much bigger than him. After he left the Pistons in 1993, Dennis joined the Spurs, where the tattoos and hairstyles grabbed most of the attention and turned him into a superstar.
Rivers, three-pointer, no. Rodman.
That's right, he was on the Spurs. I forgot about this.
But despite cross-dressing, a wild lifestyle, and on-court incidents, Rodman was the best role player ever. And when he joined the Bulls in 1996, they became unbeatable. When the Bulls lost to Orlando in the 1995 playoffs, it was mainly because they couldn't match up with them in the post. However, with Rodman on the team, Chicago swept Penny and Shaq in the 1996 conference finals, with Rodman grabbing an insane 6.5 offensive rebounds per game, and doing it against a 7'1" Shaquille O'Neal. The Bulls won 3 consecutive titles with Dennis, and due to his unreal stamina, defensive and rebounding prowess, as well as skills off the court, Rodman became a legend.
He's tough too.
And just like
I didn't know
Worm,
Dennis was
this
doing all
90s
this.
superstar had a legendary nickname,
Clyde
which he
Drexler,
earned by
all right.
gliding through the air before
Trailblazing
thunderous
legend.
dunks.
Okay.
Clyde the Glide Drexler was the oldest player on this list, drafted in 1983. And when the 90s started, Drexler was in his prime.
Out as Drexler turns around, puts it up. It's good! Score the basket!
Turn around 3. Who is Clyde Drexler?
Leading the Blazers to 2 NBA Finals in 1990 and 92. Clyde couldn't win the title as the #1 option, but when he joined the Rockets in '95 and teamed up with Hakeem Olajuwon, Drexler proved that the 3rd time's the charm, finally winning an NBA title.
Clyde the Glide finally gets the ring.
He's got it. He's got his ring.
He won that
Drexler was one of the most versatile players
right?
of his era, averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and nearly 2 steals per game during the 90s.
Dang,
he ranked top 20 in total
too.
points, assists, and steals, despite being past his prime in the latter part of the 90s, and retiring in 1998. With 7 All-Star appearances and 4 All-NBA teams, along with an Olympic gold medal, Clyde was one of the most decorated players of the decade.
They're looking for Clyde. Yeah. There it is. There it is. There it is. Drexler wins it. Drexler wins it.
Clyde made the playoffs
I want to
in
react to
all
Clyde Drexler now too, man.
15 seasons of his career. And at the time of his retirement, Drexler was one of only 3 players in history with 20,000 points, 6,000 assists, and 6,000 rebounds. And one of Drexler's dream team teammates is the best player in New York Knicks history, despite never winning a championship.
Patrick Ewing! Bro, I always thought Patrick Ewing got clapped and dunked on mid-game. He does. But he's a tough player overall.
First overall in
man.
1985, Patrick Ewing was a mountain of a man with polished post moves and a soft touch around the basket. When the 90s started, Ewing was scoring 28.6 points and blocking 4 shots per game, showing dominance on both ends of the court. And just like Drexler, his performance declined toward the end of the decade as he got older. But Ewing still averaged 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks, shooting 50% from the field and 75% from the free throw line. In the 90s, the Knicks center was 3rd in total points, 5th in rebounds, and 4th in blocked shots. During the golden era of NBA centers, Ewing finished in the top 5 in MVP voting 5 times during the decade, along with 8 All-Star appearances and 5 All-NBA teams.
Here's Starks.
The Knicks made the playoffs each season from 1988 until 2000 when Big Pat was on the roster, compared to just 9 playoff berths in the next 25 seasons after he left. Led by Ewing, the 90s Knicks were a fighting, defensive juggernaut who left bruises on many opponents.
What's he about to do to him? Oh my... What the? He just hit the side of the rim.
With legendary battles against the Bulls, Pacers, and the Heat.
Nah, he got
in 1994 and 1999, New York made the NBA Finals and were 1 quarter away from winning it all in 1994 against Hakeem.
When Patrick Ewing wasn't getting cooked, he was tough. He had a bag.
Unfortunately for Ewing, they couldn't get over the hump, losing the deciding game 90-84. In 99, Ewing got injured just before the finals, and the Knicks had no chance against Tim Duncan and the Spurs, and Pat had to retire as one of the best players ever not to win a championship. And just like Ewing, this next player also played on the Dream Team. He also made 2 NBA Finals in the 90s and also never won a championship. John Stockton was arguably the most unassuming NBA player ever, and if you passed by him on the street, you'd probably think he was an accountant.
Really not much different from Michael Jordan walking through here.
But despite the boring haircut, and even more boring answers in press conferences, and a low-key persona off the court, Stockton became something entirely different when he stepped on the court.
Pretty low-key persona. I'm weak. I mean, hey, that was a part of his class.
Open 3.
The fact that he was a bag and no one knew.
Stockton sends the Utah Jazz to the NBA Finals.
Surgically precise, maniacally competitive, and borderline dirty, Stockton fought tooth and nail to win every game. And due to his hard work and fearlessness, he became the best point guard of the 90s and one of the best of all time.
Stockton on the turn for the win. Incredible play.
He did that to them? Wow.
Stockton led the league in assists 9 consecutive times between 88 and 96, and in steals 2 times, along with being one of the most efficient point guards ever, making 52% of his field goals and 40% of his threes during the 90s. Just like Steve Nash, who came after him, Stockton was a pass-first point guard who first looked to feed others. But similarly to Nash, who was also extremely efficient, Stockton should have probably tried to score more, as he only took 10 shots per game. John averaged 15 points, 12 assists, and 2.3 steals in the 90s, making the All-NBA team 9 times, along with 4 All-Defensive selections. Stockton was one of the best defenders ever at the point guard position, along with Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, Drew Holiday, and Marcus Smart. Nobody will ever catch his record in total steals and total assists.
Fox inside low left, Eric Williams. Stockton steals.
Okay, he took it. Nah, what's he better do with it?
Stole the ball. He's the all-time leader for the history of the game.
Largely due to Stockton's insane longevity and durability, as he only missed 18 games during his entire career.
Stockton with the ball front court left. He looks to Karl Malone. He's got him low. The mailman jumps it. Shot up.
Mailman. They call him the mailman?
A new NBA assist king of the NBA.
Utah never missed the playoffs during Stockton's tenure, getting close to winning the title in 97 and 98.
Oh my gosh, MJ!
But Jordan and the Bulls were too strong, and one of the best point guards of all time had to retire without a ring. But Ewing and Stockton weren't the only all-time greats from the Dream Team that didn't win a ring because of Jordan. And out of all ringless legends, he gets the most flack for it.
4 rings. How many rings you got? How many rings you gonna be remembered for? That's what I thought.
Charles Barkley entered the 90s as arguably the best player in the NBA.
Not take that disrespect, yo, from Shaq. That's bold and crazy, man.
Not named Michael Jordan.
Barkley. Nobody cut him off. Barkley went all the way.
finishing second in the MVP voting behind Magic Johnson, despite receiving more first-place votes. And once he got traded from the awful Sixers and joined the Suns, Barkley led Phoenix to the best record in the NBA, finally winning an MVP award. In the playoffs, Chuck was even better, leading the Suns to the finals with one of the most legendary plays of his career.
Right, not to pause the video too much, but what I want to say so far, I've been impressed with Gary Payton and John Stockton. You know what I'm saying, chat? I want y'all to let me know who y'all's favorite players of the night. I'm not saying those two are my favorite players of the 90s, but those are the ones I've been impressed with so far throughout the video, man.
Game to win. Here we go to overtime. Barkley 20-footer, yes, with 1.8 seconds. Charles Barkley.
However, against MJ, Barkley had to accept that he was the second best player in the world. In a close series, the Bulls edged out the Suns in 6 games, winning the championship on the famous three-pointer by John Paxson. Despite the loss, Barkley was a beast, averaging 27 points, 13 rebounds, and 5.5 assists, even though he played through injury and needed to get his elbow drained before every game. In 1994, Sir Charles dropped 56 points in a playoff game against the Warriors, the 3rd highest playoff scoring game of all time.
Barkley gets in. 56 points, but he gives them a big 4-point lead.
Despite being only 6'5", the round mound of rebound played like a heavyweight, often outmuscling players much bigger than him. Due to a sturdy frame, incredible first and second jump, and willingness to fight everybody, he was one of the best rebounders ever. But Chuck was also really nimble and skilled. He could handle the ball and routinely throw behind the back passes.
Rebound for Chuck.
Back to Drexler.
And even though the championship eluded him, even after he joined Hakeem and the Rockets, Barkley's numbers during the decade speak for themselves. 22.4 points, 11.6 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.5 steals. And that includes the last 3 seasons in the 90s, when he was past his prime. With 7 All-NBA selections, 1 MVP, and 2 Olympic gold medals, Chuck's gotta be happy about his career, despite never winning the title. But the guy who teases Barkley about never getting that ring the most, and who
I know that MJ and him would beef like crazy, man. He was putting him into work, yo.
Fought Chuck in 1999.
Oh, there's a swing by O'Neal.
Whoa, they fighting again? Nah, bro, the 90s was a ruthless era.
Shaq was the first overall pick in 1992, and he immediately showed that he was going to be a force that almost nobody could stop, becoming the first player to win Player of the Week in his first week of NBA basketball.
O'Neal runs the floor, takes it all the way.
O'Neal would also become an All-Star, win Rookie of the Year, and crush 2 backboards in one of the most dominant debut seasons of all time.
Whoa! I remember seeing this clip for the first time. I had no idea
Shaq
this
won the
ever
scoring
happened.
title, averaging 29.3 points per game, and also finishing second in the MVP vote. That year, he led Orlando to the NBA Finals, but due to immaturity and the greatness of Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaq had to win.
Him and Kobe, him and Penny, him and I forget who it was with the Heat.
To win his first championship. During the 90s, the Big Diesel averaged 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks per game, while making 58% of his shots and leading the NBA in field goal percentage 3 times. Shaq finished in the top 10 in MVP voting in each of his 7 seasons in the 90s and made the All-NBA team in every season except his rookie year. And despite being mostly recognized for his dominance in the 2000s, 90s Shaq was faster and more athletic. And if he had the opportunity to play with the ball more, he'd be even more dangerous.
Get back on transition.
Oh, what a dunk. Hey, look at him look back at Mourning. Oh, he came flying out of nowhere.
And one of Shaq's biggest rivals during the 90s was a rare player who could match his size, speed, and athleticism.
We put in David Robinson over Shaq? I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know how I feel about this, but honestly, that just seems like I don't know too much about David Robinson either, but I mean Shaq over him.
Here we go. It's Robinson.
We got 5 more, man. Let's keep it going.
7'1", David Robinson had the body of a Greek god with chiseled muscles and the ability to run the floor like a gazelle.
Robinson, West is there, but not in time. Did he motor on that?
The combination of size, strength, athleticism, and shooting touch made Robinson nearly impossible to stop. And during the 90s, he averaged 24.4 points per game, the fourth highest scoring average in the 90s. Getting drafted in 1987, Robinson served in the Navy for 2 years before joining the Spurs for the 89-90 season, which earned him his nickname, the Admiral. And over the next 7 seasons, Robinson won every possible individual accolade. He was Rookie of the Year. He led the league in rebounds.
John Elliott, Robinson with a follow.
And in 1992, he was the NBA's leading shot blocker with 4.5 rejections, which earned him the Defensive Player of the Year. In 1994, Robinson won the scoring title over Shaq.
Whenever I hear a certain player as Defensive Player of the Year stat, man, that just tells me they're a really solid all-around player, because it's pretty easy to be good at offense, but to be on clamps and on defense nowadays in modern basketball really is what outshines.
Scoring 71 points in the last game of the regular season to push his average to 29.8 points per game.
Grab by Ellis, double team by Wood, takes the jumper, yes!
It was like no one was even in his face.
71 for David Robinson.
And then, in 1995, the Admiral won the MVP, while also finishing in the top 3 in MVP voting 4 other times. But Robinson couldn't get past the conference finals. And in 1997, he suffered a season-ending foot injury, which was a blessing in disguise. The Spurs plummeted to the bottom of the standings, giving them the chance to draft first overall and form arguably the best big man duo of all time, with Robinson and Tim Duncan. And in 1999, the Spurs won the championship. And even though he took a back seat to Duncan, the Admiral finally capped an outstanding individual career with a ring.
The San Antonio Spurs have won their first NBA championship.
If you shrunk David Robinson to 6'7", you'd probably get Scottie Pippen, who was just as chiseled, athletic, and dominant on both ends.
I'm assuming we got the big 3 from the Bulls.
Pippen with a gorgeous move, sensational.
Drafted in the same class as the Admiral, it took Scottie a few seasons to really blossom into a superstar. But when he did, Jordan had the best number 2 option in the NBA. With agile feet and long arms, Scottie always took the assignment of guarding the best opposing player, while also being able to switch faster than anybody in the NBA and guard multiple opponents during one possession. Pippen's IQ, defensive versatility, and the ability to score and pass made him the best Swiss Army knife the league had ever seen up to that point. Which is also proven by the numbers. During the 90s, Pip averaged 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.2 steals, and 1 block per game, doing everything the coaches asked of him to help the Bulls win. And because he played with Jordan, Pippen is probably slightly underrated because Scottie was an even better defender.
Without Scottie, bro, the Bulls, they would have been struggling a little bit.
Better passer than Jordan. However, when they played together, along with Rodman, Kukoc, and others, the Bulls were almost unbeatable, going to the finals 6 times and winning 6 championships, not once playing a Game 7. In the 90s, Pippen made 8 all-defensive first teams and 1 second team. And it's actually a shame that he never won Defensive Player of the Year. Scottie was also named to 7 All-NBA teams during the decade. And in 1994, when Jordan was playing baseball, Pippen finished 3rd in the MVP voting, proving he could lead the Bulls even without Michael.
But MJ could never win it without Scottie. Scottie never won it without MJ
they ended
either.
Up short of the NBA Finals. And despite not winning a championship, this next player has to be ahead of Pippen in the rankings of the best player of the 90s, simply because he always delivered.
Stockton's right-hand man, right? This is Stockton's big man.
The mailman, Karl Malone, averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists per game during the 90s, missing only 3 games in the entire decade. Malone was basically living in the gym, and he was one of the strongest and best conditioned players in the league, which allowed him to always be available and consistently deliver his points. The mailman scored 21,370 points in the 90s, which is by far the most for any player, and over 3,000 points more than Jordan, who's in second place.
Is that like 2,000 something points a year almost? Like, with there being 80 games, like, I don't know. We got to do the math there.
Wildly inciting the crowd for more noise.
He was also second in total rebounds behind Rodman, and thanks to his partnership with Stockton, the Jazz never missed the playoffs, making the NBA Finals in '97 and '98. But despite losing to the Bulls twice, Malone is individually maybe even the most accomplished player in the 90s. He made the All-NBA first team in each season of the decade, including 2 MVP awards, and finished in the top 5 in MVP voting 5 more times. Karl also made the All-Defensive First Team 3 times, won 2 Olympic gold medals, and is currently the 3rd all-time leading scorer, behind LeBron and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. However, if we're talking about the most complete and versatile player of the 90s, that's not Malone, Pippen, or even Jordan. His name is Hakeem Olajuwon. And
oh my gosh, how in the world could I even forget about Olajuwon?
The best defensive player in the 90s.
And Hakeem gets a block. He gets a second block.
Come on.
Going to try it again.
Yeah,
he gets a third block.
As well as the most prolific post scorer of all time.
Deflected by Hoffa.
Oh, spin, bang.
With a spectacular ball.
Drafted first overall in the famous 1984 NBA draft, ahead of Jordan, Barkley, and Stockton, Hakeem made the NBA Finals in his 2nd season. But after injuries to Ralph Sampson and a complete roster overhaul, Olajuwon was reduced to regular season dominance.
He was in the same draft class as Jordan.
Failed to win a playoff series between 1988 and 1992. The 1990 season might have been the best regular season of Hakeem's career, as he led the NBA in rebounds with 14 and blocks with 4.6 rejections per game, along with scoring 24 points. But with the team being unsuccessful, Hakeem wasn't in serious consideration for MVPs and DPOYs until the Rockets finally put a solid team around him.
He's like Kevin
when they
Durant
did,
back
Hakeem's
then,
greatness could finally shine in full effect, highlighted by 2 DPOY awards in '93 and '94, and the long-deserved MVP, thus becoming the first player to win Defensive Player of the Year and
him, Drexler, and Barkley, man,
in the same season.
I don't know how that team
Hakeem
got
was
put
even
together.
better.
I'd love to learn more about the history of how that team got put together in between MJ's 3-peats, why they were the ones that won.
In the playoffs, embarrassing David Robinson with his patented dream shake.
Trying to turn baseline.
That post footwork, probably.
Then he shut down Ewing in the '94 finals and scored at will against Shaq in the '95 finals, leading the Rockets to 2 consecutive championships.
Two-peat, little two-peat. Little two-peat from Olajuwon. We don't talk about that too much, man. We always focus on the Bulls in the 90s, man. What happened between the Bulls? 94, 95, it was the Rockets, man. Chat, if y'all have a video recommendation for me so I can learn about that specific span of basketball, man, I'd love to learn more, man. Let me know down below.
During those 2 playoffs, Hakeem averaged 31 points, 11 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 3.5 blocks per game, while shooting 53% from the field and 74% from the free throw line. It was one of the most dominant 2-year runs of all time, especially if you consider that Hakeem didn't play alongside a single All-Star in '94 and had an aging Clyde Drexler in '95.
Oh my God. Oh.
During the 90s, Hakeem was 6th in total points scored, 3rd in rebounds, 1st in blocks, and 7th in steals.
First in
and
blocks,
was, without a doubt,
steals,
the most
man.
versatile player in the 90s. But despite Hakeem's greatness, the crown for the best player in the 90s can only lie on one player's head, Michael Jordan's.
We're down in 2.
Who else is going to be in the #1 spot, man? Besides
MJ started the decade
greatest,
with a 3rd consecutive loss to the
legendary,
Pistons in the 1990 conference finals. But then he decided to bulk up, which made him unstoppable. Michael went from 200 pounds to 220, and it made all the difference, as he became harder to deter when driving to the basket and able to bully smaller defenders playing with his back to the basket before launching his trademark turnaround jump. Furthermore, MJ started to trust his teammates more and became a willing passer playing in Phil Jackson's triangle offense. And that's when his game was fully complete, and he became unguardable. Over the next 8 seasons, Jordan won 6 scoring titles, 4 MVPs, and 6 Finals MVPs, while missing a year and a half playing baseball. The main highlights include 69 points in the regular...
He didn't even play the full decade in the league. Was 2 years out of it. Yeah, still won 6 of them.
season against Cleveland.
Shoots. Turn out the lights. That's 69 for Jordan, and the Cavs take...
And if he didn't leave that year, would he have won the next? I don't think it's crazy to say he probably would have.
Time.
6 threes in the first half of Game 1 of the '92 Finals against the Blazers, a.k.a. the Shrug Game.
Here's Jordan for three. Yes! Did you see that look? Michael indicating he can't believe it.
Shrug
And 50
game.
points.
Bro, it's so dumb how Michael Jordan was just like, dang, I made 6 threes in a row. Light work. Light work. And people know it as the Shrug game because he did this. Come on, bro. This dude, Michael Jordan's so impactful. It's not even funny.
He scored against Barkley in the '93 Finals.
Between the shot clock and the game clock,
Borderline hilarious.
During the second repeat, Jordan went 72-10 and cried after winning his first title without his father.
I can't even put it in words. My Father's Day, what it means to me. I know he's watching. To my wife, and to my kids, and to my mother, my brothers and sisters. This is for Daddy.
The flu game in 1997.
Backing Hornacek. Here's Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan from straight away. He looks like he's a boxer.
Flu game, man. Historic.
The unforgettable shot over Byron Russell in '98.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Which cemented his status as the basketball demigod.
The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their second three-peat.
And one of the biggest superstars in sports history. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, we have another one for you right here.
Gosh, man, if y'all like this, well, first off, who do any of y'all think anyone on this list didn't deserve the spot? I think everyone on here deserved the spot and much more. But besides all that, I personally like Clyde Drexler, Mitch, the number 15 spot. I forget his last name. I think it was like Mitch Robinson or something. Yeah, those are definitely my two favorite that stood. I already knew Michael Jordan was finna be at the number 1 spot. I knew Shaq was finna be on this list. I didn't know Dennis Rodman was considered a top 15 of the 90s. But besides all that, this was a great video, man. If y'all want me to react to the 15 best players of the 2000s, we gotta get this video to 100 likes, man. I love to react to this video for y'all. But besides the point, man, comment down below, like this video, let me know that y'all did like it, and subscribe to the channel so y'all don't miss when any of the new videos come out, man. I hope y'all have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next one. It's up.